today I thought I would go back to basics and show you how to create flawless looking skin, whatever your skin type. So what I tend to use to create that sort of flawless looking skin is a good moisturizer and an eye cream to begin with. I've already applied that to my skin. And then I would use a primer that is suitable for your particular skin type. And then I would use a foundation, again, that's suitable for your skin type. And then I would use a light reflecting and light in consistency concealer for the under eye area, where there's any sort of dark circles. And then I would use a heavy duty, that's a good coverage concealer on any blemishes and redness and that type of thing. So for my particular skin type, which is dry skin, I want to sort of add that glow and dewiness back to the skin. So I tend to look for products that sort of illuminating and moisturising and just give that dewiness back to the skin. So I would use sort of, instead of a regular primer, I would use something like this, which is the Strobe Cream by MAC, and this will just add a bit of glow to my skin. And then I would follow that with a sort of a dewy finish moisturising foundation, again because I want to add a moisture and dewiness to the skin. I'll show you how I apply those products in a minute. But first I just want to talk about the other skin types as well and what type of products you would use for those. So if you have more of an oily skin, then you want to first of all find a moisturiser that's suitable for oily skin. And then when you go on to finding a primer, you probably want to go for a mattifying primer to counteract the oiliness of your skin. And then and with primers, nowadays there are so many on the market. You know, all the big brands have a big range of primers these days to cater for different skin types. Smashbox, for instance, a really good brand that has a really good range of really good primers. So yeah, you would go for sort of a mattifying primer and a primer that would make your foundation last all day. And then when it comes to your foundation, you would probably want to choose a good coverage and a long lasting mattifying foundation. And with any skin type, when it comes to the concealers, you want to go for a light reflecting concealer for the under eye area that's light in consistency. And then you would go for more of a heavy duty, good coverage concealer for those blemishes and redness and those things. So I would say that's, that's the kind of concealers you're going to look for, whatever your skin type. If you have sort of normal skin, then you probably want to go for just sort of an all-rounder when it comes to the primer. Maybe one that just sort of minimises pores, smooths out the skin before you apply the foundation, and just makes your foundation last that little bit longer. And again, as I said, most brands have a good range of primers to choose from, or whatever you need. And then when it comes to the foundation, if you have normal skin, it depends really what you're after in your foundation, whether it's for it to last all day, a good coverage. So yeah, that's kind of a personal choice. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the products that I'm going to use for my particular skin, which, as I said, is dry skin. So instead of a primer, I'm gonna use this Strobe Cream by MAC. Another thing that you could use is a drop of liquid highlighter, and you could mix that with your liquid foundation, and that would kind of give a similar glowing look to your skin. But I'm going to use this under my foundation. And then I'm going to apply my foundation, which is the YSL Olive Tint Touche Eclat. And this is their, newish foundation by now. I'm going to start applying this with my fingers as well. I did a review on this foundation, a digital review, so if you want to check that out. It's a really good foundation for my skin type. It gives a good coverage, but also has that dewiness, and it can be hard to get both things in one foundation. That's why I really like this one. My current favourite. It's really nice on top of the strobe cream. Just adding a little bit more to the areas that need it. I'm not going to bother going too much like under my eyes because I'm going to apply some concealer after. Enough. And then I would just take a sort of a buffing brush and just make sure it's blended well everywhere. And then I'm gonna apply my concealer to the under eye area. Concealer that I'm going to use is a light reflecting and light consistency as well, and I'm going to be using the Dream Lumi Touch Highlighting Concealer by Maybelline, and I'm just going to use my finger to apply this just to the under eye area, and I'm just tapping to blend it into the skin. And if you look down, while I was looking sort of straight in the mirror, you can see exactly where you might need a bit more, because the shadows of the bags show up for you if you look down. And then I'm going to take more of a sort of a heavy duty concealer. I don't have any blemishes as such, but I do have some redness here, so that's what I'm going to use it for. And this is the MAC Studio Finish Concealer, and it's quite a good coverage concealer, so hopefully it will cover that for me. And another tip for you when it comes to sort of covering blemishes, I like to use a thin, sort of a pointy brush, because then you can sort of pinpoint exactly where you want to put your concealer, so you're not putting it on like large areas, and then I would use my finger just to blend it and just apply it to that red area. I'm just going to add a bit of foundation to my eyelids, and I forgot earlier because they're a bit sort of red. And then before sort of applying eyeshadow, if you've applied foundation to your eyelids, I would suggest either you use a primer, an eyeshadow primer, just over the foundation, or you can set this foundation with a powder like a translucent powder before you apply your eyeshadow. But I'm not going to apply anything today, I'm just showing you some of the skin today. Yeah, that's it. Those are the products that I would use to create that sort of flawless looking skin. So after this now, I would set anywhere that I've used concealer with a powder, just a tiny bit of powder on those areas to make sure that they don't crease or move. I wouldn't tend to put much powder anywhere else just because I've got dry skin, and then I would finish off the skin with my bit of bronzer and blusher. But you know, if you have more of like a normal to an oily skin, then you probably do want to set your foundation with some powder. But yeah, when it comes to base, this is how I sort of go about creating that sort of smooth, flawless look. Hopefully this was helpful, and if you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I post 2 videos a week. As always, thank you for watching. So all I'm going to use is my